everybody. Cheers! Welcome back to Reaper Pro Tips. I didn't finish my tea this morning, so yay! Not coffee? Not coffee. So welcome back to the show. I am here, your host, Anne, along with Disembodied Hands, Quindy, with or without coffee, not sure. Disembodied after all. Disembodied Beard, John, and any Reaper nebulous presence that may wish to make itself known. Welcome. We are back to paint. Huzzah. How are y'all? I see happies. I see Happy Bear from Inara. Good, good. Yay. And Zachariah with the Snorlax? Is that a Snorlax? It looks like a Snorlax. Yeah, the way I used to drink coffee, it was definitely not coffee. It was albino coffee. Yes, for sure. There we go. All right. Cheers. Yeah, this is one of my favorite holiday teas, actually. Even though it's like Bigelow, and usually they're not the highest quality tea, but they do an amazing selection of holiday teas, and this one is their eggnoggin tea, which actually tastes like eggnog. It's so good. I'm like, oh my gosh. It had been a while. You drink very sweet coffees. Yeah. For sure. Speaking of beginners, I was working on the painting book this morning before I got online. Reading over my introduction and reviewing my outline. That's the thing, the outline that keeps us on track. You prefer nog? Yes. Yeah, a lot of people do, but I can't have it, so. I cannot have a great many wonderful things thanks to my guts, so no more alcohol, and eggnog usually has way too much sugar in it for me. If I made my own, I could have it. But I couldn't put booze in it, so what's the point? No, it's not. That's not true, because I actually like the taste of non-alcoholic eggnog, so that's just me. You just finished your Monster. Oh my. I used to do Red Bull and stuff. Then my gut started really hating me because of it, so I had to stop. I even remember the road trip where my gut was like, and nope! I was like, oh no more energy drinks. So enjoy it while you can, Quinny. Oh yeah, any kind of nog, eggy kind or not. Okay, fair. Yeah. Everybody's with their sweet stuff, or they're not sweet stuff. All right, cool. Well, today I had an epiphany last night because I was reviewing this model, and I realized that one of the original colors that I had on my docket to use with it was actually Sharkbite, which answers the question of what I want my last little accent color to be. So I can actually put like a little tiny bit of Sharkbite on the dagger here as an accent if I wish. And even on the like handle of the axe there if I want to, as well as I was sitting here trying to figure out what the heck am I doing with these colors. So now I think we're about ready to block everything in. I am going to use rich leather to go over the leather on his shoulders, and we're going to see how we can change that up. He just has so much stuff on him, and there are models you will run into like this where you feel like you've run out of color options, because if you put anything else on it, it's going to turn into the Kaleidoscope Mini of Doom, because you already have a lot of colors on it, and you're just like, where do I even go from here? And usually my answer for that is neutrals, but sometimes if you look back at the original idea you had, you can discover something that will work. And both red and purple go with teal very well, so we will be using that. Even if it's just for a tiny touch here or there on the model, we'll use it. But for now, let's get the rich leather in to do these kind of like, do a kind of a golden lighter leather on one of the few remaining areas that is just primer. I'll probably use, and if I want this to not be tremendously bright, because it is a really intense kind of golden color, and with the muted aspects of this model, this could really overwhelm it. Remember what we did, oh gosh, when was it? It was really recently when we put a little bit of brown liner in there, and we got that toned down. It can make a really nice cold bronze kind of color. I think I am going to put a drop or half a drop of brown liner in it. It's going to mute it out a bit. Hey Grand Oracle, thanks for the resub. At 13 months. I don't have to sing for you, but you have the lucky unlucky number. Thank you for the resub. My brain is like running all over today. It's like, so if I can't stay on topic, as a squirrel, It's like that. It's like that. I can even see squirrels out my back window here, so it's totally appropriate. Yeah, busy summer. Yep, and fall. Yep. Yes, yes, but we don't have many pictures. I guess actually there is a lot of art out there about Fafford, but I was never a fan of him. Mouser was good. That that was definitely classic fantasy, right? I think Fritz Lieber defined sword and sorcery. Like he and Marion Zimmer Bradley, I think, really kind of defined that as a genre. So if I drop one drop of brown liner in there, then I've darkened down this rich leather just a little. It's not quite as vibrant as it was. And I don't want to go too dark, but I think just a little bit more. If you try this with anything but a liner, you will totally destroy rich leather. If you try it with black and brown or walnut, because the black in those colors is just so strong. There we go. That's more like what I was thinking. And I'm going to test this. What I want to be able to do is add white to it and come up with a good leather color. So I'm going to test it by moving this over here. Good, Critico. Yeah, that sounds like it could be pretty terrible. Or at least the people had. The market was probably fun. It's just the people you have to dodge around. Okay, so that went too gray. We can see how gray that went. So I really do want to add just a little bit more of the rich leather into it then. Both sides. This will work, I think. Grayed out tan. Yeah, I think this will work really well. Yeah, I think it'll work with his colors. Because, yeah, we don't want anything to get too crazy. If anything gets too saturated or bright, it will detract from the color scheme. So we're going to just go with that, I think. Sadly destroyed. Yeah. Yup. I'm doing all my shopping online as usual. Alright, so this will also make this leather color different than if I'm doing like brass or bronze for this little... Let me get an actual focus. Wouldn't that be nice? I told you I lacked focus today, guys. But if we decide to do like brass or bronze or gold with these fixtures, we want them to be a bit different from our rich leather, right? So usually I use rich leather as a base for those colors. So in this case, darkening down and muting down the leather is going to help us. So we'll start blocking that in so I can get a feel for how it's going to work. Kind of keeping an eye on how it plays with the red and plays with the bone and plays with everything else around here. Sounds like a proper holiday carnival. We don't really have a holiday carnival. Like, I feel like that's something that a lot of towns here in the USA just do not have, that they really are missing out on. So a lot of them don't have winter fairs, or at least they don't publicize them and make them really big and huge and cool. Which is kind of a shame. All right. Way too peoply, yeah. I imagine it would be with Edinburgh. You sound like you're really close to Edinburgh, Nico. How far are you? How far are you from Edinburgh? Because you talk about going there a lot, or stuff in there a lot. I can't blame you, because when I was there anyway, I thought it was a really cool city. Yeah, there's sort of one in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. Alright, so that I think is going to go pretty well. It is harmonizing. It likes the purple in it get along really well because it's kind of a muted yellow, and the purple is, of course, complementary to that. So that works really well. Let us continue with the other aspects of the model, which I wish to paint this color. And of course, the fact that we did a Zenith Prime means that it's going to be darker over the black primer and lighter over the white. Yeah, minus the flea market thing. Oh, you get there in an hour. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. Something you could do for special occasions, right? When you want a big city. Yeah, for sure, Shadow Raven. I could see that. Had a go at doing it, huh? I can see Colleyville. It wasn't something that the towns near me in the Midwest ever did, which is funny because we had a huge German roots population. I'm part of it, and I'm German for much of my recent ancestry. But there is also a North Texas German population, so that makes sense. But it sounds like the Scots also have a winter market tradition. And I doubt they stole it from the Germans, but you never know. Yeah. Yeah, craft fairs are common. It's just like that winter market thing. They had one, I think, here in Mountain View, but it was just very poorly advertised. Like it had gone by before like we ever heard about it. That's probably the challenge these days is how do you let people know? Oh no, Twitch. Yeah. Gosh darn it. Beat it up, Quindy. Yeah, see that color harmonizes really well with the purple. It's exactly what I needed to go between the purple and the red. So happy about that. I'm gonna mix up just some brown liner to. I've noticed that I've got some areas that I did not line, and I'm probably gonna want it for shading anyway. So let's get that mixed up. I think they're in denial, Shadow Raven. They really, really, really wanted to leave Europe, period. And are they really? Like, I mean, they seceded from the European Union, which kind of, geographically, they're still part of Europe, I guess. But Christmas markets have nothing to do with geography and everything to do with culture. So technically, I think that Kuriko is correct. I could be wrong though. That would be the way that I would rule it though. Yeah. Alright, and while I'm here, I'm going to kind of put a little bit of this gold along the top and bottom of the belt if I can swing it. It's a really narrow area, And if I really wanted it to show up better, I would underpaint with white, but I don't actually want it to show up that great because it's on the back of the model. And we've done this whole shadow, back here being a lot in shadow down this way. So instead, I'm just going to put it in. And when I hit it with my very small highlights, we'll at least bring it out a little bit. But yeah, that's looking a lot better now. Yeah, totally different culture. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, America just tends to reduce everything to buy, because we're such a consumerism culture. Not my favorite thing about us either. Oh, I didn't tell you guys about my latest experience with the consumerism culture, which was when I was trying to buy pie for Thanksgiving. So, this is like textbook, too. It's absolutely textbook, America. So I'm sitting there. I went to Sprouts because I like Sprouts. I like their pies. And I walk up, and right away they've got a lady sitting there manning a front table covered with pumpkin pies. And so I look, and they're all pumpkin, and there are no half pies, and I'm looking for half pies. So I'm like, are there no half pies? And she's like, oh, and she kind of just gestures like over there, So I go, and I'm like, yay, half an apple pie, but there are no pumpkin pies cut in half. And I'm like, so I go back to her, and I'm like, no pumpkin pies cut in half? And she's like, but you can freeze it. And I'm like, but I don't need this much pie. But you can freeze it. And she proceeds to tell me how I can freeze it. And I'm like, I only want half a pumpkin pie. I do not need to eat all of that pumpkin pie. And she just didn't get it. Like, it did not even penetrate her brain that somebody could not want more than half a pumpkin pie. But you can freeze it and eat it later, guys. But I don't need to eat another half of a pie, lady. But that's it. It's that attitude where she just honestly did not understand. Like, looked at me like I was speaking in a totally different language when I'm like, I don't really need that many calories. I don't really need to eat half that pie. No. She just didn't get it. Like, there was this, total disconnect. It was so funny, it stuck in my memory. But it really is, like America doesn't care if it's bad for you to overconsume. They just want you to do it. Yeah. No, I bought an entire pumpkin pie and I didn't eat most of it. And I told David we could throw it out, but he actually did refrigerate it and slowly ate it over the course of the next period of days. But he will do that, and he can get away with that. He's taller and he can consume more calories than me without gaining weight. And pumpkin is his favorite anyway. All I cared about was the apple pie. No, I did not freeze it. I was ready to throw it out. Right, exactly, Inara. Yeah, they won't sell it that way because they think they can get you to buy it anyway, when in reality, half the time you're just going to go and buy something else. I mean, I bet a lot of people don't, though. I bet a lot of people just buy the whole thing and then end up throwing it out because we waste so much food every year, right? And that's not ideal either. But it's all that bottom line thinking. To the point where they just assume that you're crazy if you don't want to supersize, if you don't want extra for later, quote unquote. Yeah, but I bought it and was ready to toss it. If David hadn't been willing to eat it, if it hadn't been his favorite kind of pie, if it had been reversed and pumpkin pies were the things they wouldn't have, I would not have bought the whole pie. I would have just bought half of a pumpkin pie, and that's what we would have had, and I would have just suffered not to have apple pie. It's fine. It's not like I'll die if I don't have apple pie. I just was excited because this is the first year that David's like, you should get half an apple pie because you really love it. Boop. All right, so a little bit of lining to crisp up. You can see the dark borders that I put inside. That helps separate out all this stuff. I'm going to put, even though I have black primer here, I'm going to reinforce that with lining in here too, because it's going to make it look more crisp and it's going to bring the details out more. Yeah, right. If you get another one, it's half price, right? And sometimes that works for me if it's something that I can slowly use up that I'd use anyways later. I appreciate those sales most of the time because it's on something that I'm like, oh, I would use that anyway. I'm going to buy it now. Yeah, or they just don't care. They just want you to buy the thing, right? Like, they aren't even thinking, really. Like, the biggest thing, actually, the anti pumpkin pie was the fact that I could actually buy a small turkey this year, branded as a small turkey, so that the turkey company actually had paid attention to the fact that people want a small turkey, a whole turkey, not just a breast, a whole turkey that is smaller, and they are actually marketing them under a little butterball or something name, right, that. Yeah, they actually. Oh, I love halved pies, Pendrake, because yeah, I'm never gonna eat it. Like, it's really good, but yeah, the little turkey is the opposite end of the spectrum. The fact that I was able to find a turkey that was 8 pounds, 8 pounds and a hair. I was able to find it easily. And it was branded as such. So I think they're getting there. Next thing you know, they're going to be breeding dwarf turkeys. I could see that happening. I have no idea if the dwarfism gene is in turkeys, but if it is, I could see dwarf turkeys. Yeah, right. Buying a big one and wasting most of it, yep. Not true, Troll. They do taste differently. And the meat has a different texture to it as well, which you really notice if you try to make turkey soup. But turkey's a lot firmer than chicken. But yeah, I know. If you're not persnickety, it's poultry, right? And for a lot of people, that would be the case. But, I mean, I roast chickens because I love to roast birds, actually. It's one of my favorite things to cook. But I do chickens pretty commonly, so it doesn't feel holiday to me unless I'm doing something different than a chicken. And sadly, though, I love duck and prefer duck, but duck is not considered proper holiday fare for, like, Americans in general, unless you're in an Asian family. I do love duck, though. And usually what I do with that sort of thing is, okay, I'll make your traditional American holiday dinner, but then on New Year's, I actually do a fancy dinner of my choosing, where I could do a goose or a duck or a prime rib or something, you know. The thing that I otherwise don't let myself make all year. Because it's either expensive or just, you know, weird. Or both. That's probably what they're doing, Pendrake. The turkey wawa. Yeah, exactly, Derek, exactly. But it's totally a thing. Because I'm certain, I mean, well, with some animals, at least with cows, of course, younger means different texture. But I guess turkeys grow fast enough that maybe that's not a thing. I don't know enough about turkey growth. I should ask Bridget. She actually grew her own when they lived in Oklahoma. She not only grew her own, she slaughtered it. I was like, props to you, girl. You're hardcore. I could never. I'm too soft-hearted. I could not slaughter my own animal unless I was starving. If I was starving, I'd get around it, I'm pretty sure, but dang. There are different breeds, yeah, no idea. There's different breeds of most of things. Hey, Twistedoma. Oh, dearie me. Okay, let's block in some more of this since we have this color. Do I need it anywhere else? I do need to line up here. We can see where the, on the shoulder, we can see where it's bled over a bit onto the leather straps here. So this is where I'm going to be lining. I don't like to zoom in this much and keep it here because it's easy for me to get off camera, but So pretty much putting a dark line in around. And this is just another example of that Zenith will not solve all of your problems. Medium pizza. 25%. Yes, they don't get it, Troll. Exactly, right? It's like they don't even speak your language. Yeah, right. It's so stupid. Yeah, it's dumb. Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. It's like you're talking a different language. They don't even comprehend. Like, they don't even think commonsensically. It drives me nuts. Like, and if they were smart, they would do a promotion, like you say, donate the extra ones to the homeless people, right? Right? Like have a special thing where if you want to, you can pay and get the better price, and if you're not going to eat it, you can say, okay, donate, and they will like bring a whole bunch of pizzas over to the local shelters at the end of the day, right? Like, that would be a great publicity thing for them, but they just don't speak that language. Would you get more? I know it's all about more. Yeah. Little velociraptors, yep. Yeah, I mean, cutting up the raw meat is something, but in Oklahoma, where Bridget was, I think she had a lot of friends who were farmers who did do their own stuff, their own slaughtering. All right, do I want to make this handle of the axe a different color? I don't know, but I'm going to put in my teal. I'm going to put in my teal on this dagger and see if it's totally distracting. Hopefully Sharkbite is dark enough that it's not. Yeah, people are nuts. Or companies are nuts. People are fine. All right, pardon me while I go blurry for a second while I mix up this color. So we're going to mix up some of the teal, and I'm going to see how it looks. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Agent Marvel. Yeah, that's too bad. That's too bad. Yeah, I know there's always bureaucracy that gets in the way, right? Or logistics. It's one or the other, usually. I like meat, and I cannot lie. I could never go veggie. Really, I can't go veggie now because my gut has decided it's going to react to beans. It does not like beans. I found that out when I made some black beans. I never have beans. Like, I cut them out of my diet ages ago, just because it was part of the diet I was following, just because low carb. But then I reintroduced them this, like last week. I made some Mexican black beans that were tasty, and so I had some when David had his nachos. And boy, that was a don't do this again kind of discovery. I think I've only recovered today from it. There we go. So over the zenith, and I thinned it a little bit. That's a nice color, and it's not too overwhelming. I think I could put a stripe of it down the middle of the leather here. I'm going to try that. Let's see. I wanted to put purple down there, but I was kind of like, I hadn't because I hadn't fully decided to do it. Yeah, so if we keep the teal, small touches. It is a little bit non-vampire. That's the only thing about that teal, is a little bit like we kind of are doing him undead-y. He's very flashy undead. At this point, he's definitely styling, but I guess, you know, after interview with the vampire, vampires can be styling, even barbarians, I guess. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with it. I like it better than using those other colors. And it's not that the color doesn't go with the other colors. It absolutely does. It's just very fancy for a barbarian. You don't even use staple brushes, yeah. Yeah, no, I haven't. I haven't, and I have no urge to. All my relatives back in Wisconsin who hunt in deer season get theirs processed by someone else after they shoot it. I don't know if they field dress, if they just haul the carcass to the place and have them do it. Although, given my cousin Ben and the way he is, he might know how to field dress. It wouldn't surprise me. He's a very self-sufficient kind of guy. Alright, I think I'm going to go red with this handle here. And I might go red over on the wrap on this axe as well. Yeah, okay. He is fab, isn't he? So we'll just go with it. We'll make him fab. We'll throw that blue in there even though it's not vampire-y, and we'll say, why not? Why not? Let's just go with it. He just wants to be a little fancy, that's all. Just a little fancy. I need my red. Red. I used fire mixed with necromancer. When it gets to that point where I'm just like, I'm out of colors, but I don't want to repeat my existing colors, I'm just like, especially because this was right between a purple thing and a red thing, so it was very annoying. I am annoyed that I'm out of focus because I didn't focus at the right level there. Much better. Much better. I focused too close to the camera. Oh, I need to suck down the rest of my tea before it gets cold. Ah, lovely. Mmm, so tasty. They have a caramel apple tea, too. So my favorite... Bigelow makes all my favorite goddamn holiday teas. It's the eggnog one, the caramel apple one, which is really unique, and then the ever-present pumpkin spice that they do. I haven't picked up the pumpkin spice yet, actually. But I do love my holiday teas. Alright, so we're taking some of our Necromancer Purple, which is a very, very, very red purple. You see how red it is on the screen. Yeah, I thought about that. I thought about using the shark bite to just highlight black on these areas. So again, but we might do that anyway. We'll see. That's funny, Korniko. You'd think that he would have. You think he would have like something against you just because you're vegetarian, like you're competing for food. I guess that means less than you're gonna shoot me and eat me. Yep, boiling water. Yep, to pluck it. Yep. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that, Twistoma. Yeah, my mom used to have to do that. Do the she grew up on a farm, and when they had chickens, and when Grandpa slaughtered one, she'd have to put the carcass in the boiling water to get the feathers off. So I'm gonna do kind of a half and half mix of Fire Red and Necromancer to start this. Then we'll go up to Fire. Hey, New and Code, thank you for the. Oh my God! Now I have to sing. And I just had tea. Quadruple subiversary, quadruple subiversary, quadruple subiversary, happy quadruple subiversary. There we go. Thank you, New Encode, for the resub. Yeah, right. If you grow up doing it, I mean, not that Mom would ever want to do it again. And she said as much. She's just like, I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore. Yeah. Small Scottish cat should be happy. He got to be excited and chase me around on the screen. Alright, so mixing Necromancer Purple with Fire Red gives you a beautiful garnet type red. Look at that lovely ruby color. It's like dark ruby. It's a very, very beautiful color, so that would be mixing these two. I probably did about 3 drops of Necromancer and 1 drop of Fire. Now this is in a fast palette, so if you haven't bought it, you might not have it, and I don't know if they still do it. So question mark there, but if you have it, if you don't have that, pick up Orchid Purple, which is very, very similar, but a little bit more on the purple side, and do like 2 drops of this to 2 drops of Fire Red, and you will get a very similar color. Yeah, this would be a beautiful dragon color. It's a colder red because you are putting that purple in there. It's not a warm red. I did a whole PDF on cool reds earlier this year for my Patreon. So if you need your brain refreshed on that, go search that out. All right. So you almost have your socks done, Twisted Oma. That's exciting. I was just thinking, I was complaining to David last night, I need more fuzzy socks. I don't know if I can really knit myself socks at this point. I put the knitting down for a while because of everything else that was happening. I really should start something new. Since I finished my cowl, and then I took some time off pretty much. All right, so we're going to put this pretty color over the hilts of this axe, and there are wraps, and we'll figure it out. We'll see, it might be a little much. I'm probably going to have to shade it a little bit because I dulled down my red a little bit here. See how much more vibrant that is? But this suits the model better, so essentially we'll be taking this and fading it out a little bit as I shade and highlight. I'm into my dragon busts these days. Then I don't have to paint the wings. That's my whole thing. I'm like, if I don't have to paint the wings, it's a good day. Alright, so we'll leave that to dry, because as it dries, it will become less bright. And what else am I thinking? I was thinking that would be red, and I was thinking the handle, this would be red. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Hey there, green users. Oh, with the dragon for Kuroniko, yes. I'm sure that Kuroniko does not need an excuse. All right, so we're going to take the red. We're going to make the red the primary color by taking it and putting it down to the straps of the boots so that the purple and the teal are accents at that point. Then we'll finally be getting closer to having everything covered up on this model. Only the gold is left as far as base coating, but I'm going to actually highlight this leather first, get the leather brought up so that it's different. Oh, but I missed a spot. And then we'll do the gold. Otherwise, the base color for the gold and the leather will be too similar, and it'll be confusing for me to remember what's what. So if you want a shiny finish, do the varnish at the end. Especially if you, obviously, especially if you are only wanting some parts of the model to stay shiny. Use a brush on. The problem with mixing a gloss sealer in, mixing anything into your paint is going to essentially, like, lose coverage and thin it down. Essentially, by mixing in gloss sealer, you're making it into a bit of a wash or a glaze slayer. Because you're adding in non-pigmented stuff, so you're thinning down the pigment in your mixture, and you will lose coverage and color. That's exactly, you get exactly what you get when you mix a medium into your paint and then add water for a wash. Like, the medium itself will actually make your paint thinner as far as its coverage and the pigment. You're just adding more base, essentially, make it more translucent. So yes, it does matter a lot. Now, if you're using the paint as a glaze over the top of an existing color, then you could just add the gloss sealer into it. Keep in mind, that's blobby. Pardon me. I'm annoyed at myself. I got blorfy. Keep in mind, though, that if you do add gloss sealer to any part of your model, don't do non-metallic metal, do true metallics. Once you add a realistic finish to some part of the model, if you try to do a fake effect like OSL or non-metallic metal, you will fail because the human eye will use the fact that the gloss is there to judge that to essentially be able to tell the difference. It won't be fooled by the illusion. Yeah, I don't know, Pendrick. If I'm not inspired to do it, I'm not going to do it right now. I have more than enough on my plate right now with the new book. Especially because my sales are going so well. I just sold another 2 books yesterday, and I sold another one this morning. It's a nice motivator to keep writing. So my extra creative time is likely to be going into the books, not into the knitting. I tend to knit when when I've got something to watch on TV. Like, knitting is my TV thing. When Overwatch was on, that's what I would knit while I watched it. But if I'm not watching something, then I don't just knit, usually. So, if I sit down to watch, like, a YouTube thing, then I might knit. Things like that. But, yeah, right now, I've got some beautiful yarn. I just need to figure out what I want to do. Yes, I hit 500 yesterday, Pendrake. You missed it because you were gone. Or at least you weren't here on the stream. Do I want that teal to come down here on the little skirt thing, or do I want to do it? Yeah, maybe I do. I think so. Yeah, I'm going to do that. We'll make him... We were going that way, so we're just going to make him fancy. Fancy. Yeah, right. That way, if the TV or the show is rubbish or it doesn't what you want, then you have not wasted any time. But yes, I sold my 500th book yesterday. Here's to the next 500. That's why I need to get the new books out. Because pretty soon, I'm looking at my next promo, and I'm like, by that point, over Christmas, I'm going to get my books up on other platforms, because I'm no longer Kindle Unlimited. So I can put my books up on Kobo, and I can put my ebooks up on Barnes & Noble. When you're exclusive to Amazon, Kindle Unlimited gives you extra visibility, but it means you can't put your ebook up on anybody else's platform. Since I am now out of it, I can make my ebook available around the world. Not just on Amazon, which is exciting, but it is also work, so I have just not gotten around to it yet. But once I do that, I'll be applying for one of the bigger promo stacks, which they usually won't look at you unless you're available on more than Amazon. I still might not get accepted for them because I don't have, a ton of reviews, but my reviews are very good, and my cover is good. So I'm betting if I'm available wide, they'll actually consider me. And that would be like the biggest, that's BookBub, that's the biggest platform. They have millions of people on their list. So if you get a BookBub, you're generally going to make your money back. We're slowly climbing. At this point, since you guys have mostly finished the book and left your reviews, then it's just organic reviews, right? A random stranger reads my book and likes it enough to read a review. So they're climbing by about 1 a month, which is fine. We're not in a hurry. We'll get there. I'm very happy with the number of reviews on East of the Sun. West of the Moon, I wish had 10. Like, I'm sad that it's not at 10 yet, but it takes time for people to read, and it's been a busy year for everybody. So, like I said, not a big deal. But yeah, I need to sit down and get up on Kobo. I might use an aggregator for Barnes & Noble and Google and all that. But the real key here is just to keep writing books. Yeah, and finish the next book in the series and make sure it gets out there in prompt order. It's a possibility that leaving my books on Kindle Unlimited would have meant more reads for, as my books get better known. But because there definitely is a whole reading audience on KU that doesn't buy books. They just do KU. But it was so little of my audience for the first 8 months. I just decided it wasn't worth it. Hello, Kiki. I hear your clicky paws back there. Yeah, mittens are cool. I wish I liked mittens more. Alright, so yeah, once that teal kind of cools down and dries off, it's more dull, and that's nice. I'll probably add a gray to it to actually highlight it, and that will help make it less vibrant so it doesn't distract. But for now, let's work on leather. Hello, Roger. Oh, sorry, yawning. Alrighty. Yeah, leather. Okay, and I missed a spot up there, so I need to get that before that dries. Probably throw a little bit more water in that color. It's a rainy day today. I actually woke up during the night and heard the rain on the roof. It's supposed to get sunny out now. I can see it clearing up. But at least we got some rain. It was getting very dry there for a while. Sorry. Sorry, Quindy. I have to stop thinking about yawning now or I'll yawn again. Sometimes you can even make people yawn by just saying the word yawn. That was my pun husky face. Alright. Gotta do a bit of lining there on the shoulder pad. Kiki's being disturbingly good during the stream today. I'll have to check and see what got eaten. It's like too quiet. And she's not old enough yet for me to not worry about that. Oh, bye. Bye, Sakurai. Bye. Okay, lining done. Let's get some of this highlight color up on here and see if we like it. Remember, it's more grayed out than the base. I'm leaving it fairly thick. I'm going to say it's probably around a 4:1. Yes. Yes. Oof, -5. Chilly. It was a little warmer last night because of the rain. At least the bedroom didn't get as cold, and the house didn't get as cold. The humidity helps. Alright, I'm gonna get in here and there's like a base like ridge around the shoulder pad, and then there's like straps over the top of it. I want to kind of make it all around the same color, but I'll make the straps a little lighter so that they stand out. The details on this model are great, but it makes it a pain in the butt to paint. Like, this is a model that would be better at 54mm. But sometimes these wraps aren't consistent either. Yeah, it's just all like kind of narrow and difficult. Yeah, I think Kiki's probably collapsed in the side bathroom where the tile is cold. I went back to CrossFit last night and it was like almost vomit inducing. It was like a really bad one. And it didn't look bad. It was one of those deceptive ones. Where you're like, oh, this won't be that bad at all. And then you actually do it and you're just like, what were they thinking? So I'm kind of putting some lining in here now. I'm trying to catch the bits that I missed. I'm trying to separate out some of these leather wraps. So that the details are out there at least. But yeah, the CrossFit was 400-meter run, which I only do like 250 at this point. Working up to it. 400-meter run followed by 30 kettlebell swings at one size heavier than you usually do, followed by 30 sit-ups, followed by 30 push-ups, and then you went back and did 20 kettlebell swings and 20 sit-ups and 20 push-ups, and then you went back and did 10 and 10 and 10, and then you finished it out with another run. We're pretty much calling it the crap sandwich. It was a very, very ugly workout. It didn't look like it. It looked very harmless. It's just like, oh, that's not bad. But then when you get on those push-ups, man, the push-ups wrecked me. Hand release push-ups too, so you couldn't just chain them. Yeah, I mean, that's standard in CrossFit, I think. I forget what the number 25, is it 21-15-9, which is the standard CrossFit mantra? Don't remember. But yeah, it was pretty awful. I cannot do that many. I ended up having to drop reps off on the push-ups in order to finish. Which is fair. I mean, it's all about adjusting and scaling, but boy, my heart rate was crazy high, too. I wear my heart rate monitor. And I know it's inaccurate, so I know it's like you gotta figure in that it's not like super accurate, but... How funny. Well, of course, because you have to share with the dog. Twisted Homa. I need to get out and finish setting up my gym. I had to order more of the puzzle piece foam padding for the floor because my existing foam was not big enough for my barbell. Oops. I neglected to think of that. So now I got my foam yesterday, my additional foam. Did I tell you guys when I got my new weights? David came out in the garage when I was unwrapping them, and he's like, "Those are big!" And I'm like, "What, did you think I was using baby weights?" When I was talking about lifting weights all these months? It was funny. Kettlebell swings are actually the easy one for me, Dogfather. I have a pretty... I've built up my muscles pretty well on those. The kettlebell swings were the thing that I actually didn't even... I had to break up the first set, but I didn't have to break up the 20 or the 10. Even though I was using a heavier kettlebell than I usually use. But the other stuff... I couldn't even do sit-ups when I started CrossFit. That was one of my things that I wanted to do is because my core was so weak. I had been told not to do them, so I had to like work my core up. to the point where I could at least do the ab mat ones, which is what I was doing last night. But that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this so that I can be a functional human being. Right, Kiki? Kiki says, "Yeah, I drove mommy to CrossFit." Oh, somebody brought a toy. Silly girl, I cannot play with you yet. And she just walked out. All she wanted to do was say, "Look at the toy, Mom," and then she left. Yeah, the kettlebell stuff. I have my own. I did get my own kettlebell, Henrik. It's blue and shiny. I love it. It's iron with a blue rubbery coating, shiny blue rubbery coating over the bottom part that has the weight on it. I got a 35-pound one. Actually, maybe that's why I didn't have that much trouble last night, is that I bought a size heavier than I usually use at the gym, because one of the things I wanted to do is kind of start working up to that next level. And I had done a set of exercises with it Thanksgiving week when we were closed, so maybe that helped. Kiki is cute. But yeah, it was the push-ups that got me. I'm just not. I think because my shoulders are kind of like unhappy anyway because of all my writing and computer gaming. Even with my exercises that I do every night, it still makes it hard. All right, back to these strap things. TMF or NMM. It's pretty dull, so I feel like it's true metal though. It does have a shine to it. But yeah, I bought the kettlebell. I have a kettlebell, and I have a slam ball, and I have a set of dumbbells that I stole from David, but they're too light. I could say that and smicker a little bit. So I might need to get some new dumbbells. We'll see. Or just put extra plates on his dumbbells, because I do have smaller plates. And I have a box now for box step-ups, and I don't think it's quite big enough to jump on, but yeah. So and now I've got my barbell and my weights. So I have the, I should be getting, hopefully for Christmas, David's parents will get me a jump rope. And then I should have the pretty good start on a home gym, like a real home gym. I can do a CrossFit workout. I found an app that lets me customize what the gear I have is. Yeah. Uh-oh, Bork. You're fine, Keeks. You're fine. Is there a mouse outside or something? Oh, you brought your toy again? You want to show the stream your toy? Do you want to show the stream your toy? Hold on. Pick it up. Good girl. Now you can get up here and show the stream your toy, but you got to pick it up. You got to pick it up. Bring it up. Can you show them? Oh, can you show them? You got it. Yeah, there we are. This is our toy. We've wrecked it by pulling the ball off the end. She still wants to pull on it. Yeah, is it your tug? Oh, but it's work, Papa. It's work. Yeah, here. Come on. Yeah. I'll pull once, but then you gotta go. Good girl. Yay! Good girl. She's like, that wasn't a real pull. Go get it, Bubba. Brief Kiki. She's a big girl now. Yeah, hi, big girl. No, it's work, Keeks. Here, take your tug. Yeah, I know. I love you, but you can't tug during the stream. No, you gotta go. Work. Work, Kiki. Yeah, I know. I'll be ready to play with you in a bit, but you got half an hour to wait, Bubs. You got half an hour. Yeah, half an hour, Bubba. Nope. Work, Kiki. She's all energetic because she took a nap. She was actually sleeping when I started the stream. Or when I was running around getting ready to start the stream. And then now she's like, I want to play. There. Sorry, it was thinning down the highlight color for this. All right, there we go. I made kind of a triad. Actually, this looks a lot like the Terran Khaki triad. But yeah, she's a big girl now. She's 75 pounds. Yeah, she took the ball off of it and killed it, Twisted Oma. So now it's just the rope, but it's probably a better tug, honestly, just being a rope. If we can keep her from completely destroying it. But yes, big girl Kiki. Still an overgrown puppy in her head, though. So how tight and detailed you want to go with this is entirely up to the amount of time that you're willing to spend on it. And of course, how good your brush is. So like putting those little highlights. Now I feel like I'm too far out. Boop. Where's my sweet spot? Okay, that's my sweet spot. So putting those little highlights on the hide shoulder plate makes those little things stand out a lot more. But is it necessary? No. Does it make it look a little tighter and more detailed and nice? Yes. No, enough. Go settle. Go settle or you get exiled. Yep. This is a bid for attention, I think. So just a little bit of highlight there. Hold on, guys. Exile done. Go. Settle down. No. Settle. Bye. She's not going to get any more attention for it. There we go. Just needed to close the door so that you guys don't have to hear it as much. She's just being, sometimes it's just where she definitely has reached the age where she will act out just for attention. So it's distance the dog and let her just do whatever, and she just realizes she's not going to get attention for it. It bothers me, Pendrake, and that's what's important. If she keeps it up, then I'm going to go out and close the door out there that she likes having open. Yep. No. Go. Exile. Now go settle down. I don't deal with a barky dog. Like, this is why I don't have barky breeds. We live too close to our neighbors to tolerate it. Yeah, you missed the barky pupper that I just went and disciplined. Yeah. No, I'm sure it was just the construction crews that are down the block, but doesn't matter, Pendrake. It's just not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Settle down. One of the things that my neighbors were actually amazed at was that Kiki doesn't bark. Like, they don't hear her barking all the time, unlike the other dogs in our neighborhood that I could name. And it's not a habit that I want to build. So now what I've done is essentially put the fan on full blast out in the other room with her so that she can't hear the ambient noise. That helps. It's just we're so close to our neighbors that like it sounds like when there's somebody in their yard, it sounds like it's somebody in our yard. Hey Valendar, thanks for the resub, by the way. Sorry, I was in the middle of being mad at Kiki for being a misbehaving dog. 49 months is pretty darn impressive. There, now she's settled down. Put a little bit of highlights down here. Very little paint on the brush and pretty thin paint. When you're doing this kind of fine detail, you want to use a paint that is high coverage so that even when you thin it, you can get precise highlights. The squirrel is trying to communicate with you, Valendar. Alrighty. David got sick of waiting for me to work on our collaboration project and did the sheepskin himself last night, I think. I haven't looked at it yet. I just don't have any energy for it during the week. I'm much more likely to work on personal projects on the weekend. So you see how that changes the look of the wrap from this just blocked in area to that, and I need to touch up lining on the other side as well. Better than a squirrel enemy, Valendar. Better than a squirrel enemy. Wow, yeah. We solved our other problems. It's just like sad that, you know, we're not having other problems. So now Twitch has decided to give us its problems. It's like the friend who like is perfectly happy for you when you're miserable, like, you know, always sympathetic when you're miserable, but then gets mad at you when you're actually having a good life. So that's Twitch. Yeah, I was gonna say, after I said that, I was like, I guess that uses the term friend very loosely. Although all of us have had that friend at some point in our lives, right? Before we realized that it wasn't particularly a great type of friendship. We've always had that person who was always super sympathetic when things were going bad for us, but then when things started to go really well for us, that person got really bitchy. Yes, and those are definitely not the friends you want to keep. Yes, misery does love company. Unfortunately, those people can really be toxic. They can get you stuck in that mindset. Alright, just little tiny bits of highlights just because I can. Make it more kind of tanned leather colored. You can see the difference. My fine motor skills are definitely on today. Yeah, I think I only have to finish the hat band now on our little David and I's collaboration model, and then it'll be done. I'm sure he's impatient because he wants to put it up on Instagram. David is a little bit Instagram addicted, I think. Just a little. Just a little. It's funny how we're different sometimes. Like, he never used to do Insta, and then he kind of started doing it because he liked to follow some of his favorite painters on there, and then he got, like, into it. Now he scrolls his Insta. So he wants to put our Clint Eastwood bust up on there really bad. But his pokey wife is just not feeling super inspired to work on it during her work week. He's been on a painting kick lately, and when he's on a painting kick, he just, like, goes. That's why he has so much more stuff done than I do. It's like he'll come home at night, and if he feels it like that's all his time gets put into either painting or computer games, depending on what he's got going. After supper, I go exercise, and he goes to do whatever he wants to do. But he's a lot more productive than me on the painting side because of that. Usually if I'm going to be in a painting mood, it's going to be after I take a nice long walk or exercise. There we go. That looks nice. Okay, getting close to Kiki being toward Kiki's favorite time, which is the end of stream when Mommy takes me for a walk. Except David stole the treat bag, so now I've got to make more treats for her before we go on a walk. I told him he's going to be very popular with the dogs at work. So Google is a dog-friendly workplace. Kiki is just not a workplace-friendly dog. Not well-behaved enough. Not well-behaved enough. No way would she settle for the whole day next to him. Not at this age. It's a good way to, like, get an audience, like, watching your stuff. It's not, I did it for a while when I was doing the Patreon, but I have not found it to be a good conversion tool for Patreon. Some social platforms are like that. They're just like YouTube. YouTube converts to Patreon really well. And by really well, I mean like 3 viewers in 100. So like, you have to get your expectations lined up when you do this kind of thing. Like, I knew that there was between a 1 and 3% conversion rate from YouTube, and that was considered good. I don't know if I've ever gotten a patron from Instagram. What I did get from Instagram is a bunch of free patrons, because I did post on there when I first like did my free stuff, and a lot of those people have stuck with me. And maybe over time some of them will convert to a paid tier. Maybe not. If they're helping by watching my YouTube videos, though, then I'm okay with that. Because I do need watch minutes to get my YouTube leveled up. Speaking of which, hopefully that video will be up today. I was hoping I would get the time to do it yesterday, but time got away from me on the filming one of my paint-along videos, and then I did not have the oomph left. I was very tired yesterday. It was not a great day for energy. You know those days. Yeah, it's like, I like sometimes going and looking at stuff on Instagram, but with me, it's always, I'd rather be doing my thing. I'd rather be producing content than imbibing content, I guess. When I do take in content, I'm pretty selective about what I want to do. And Instagram just doesn't do it for me. I made myself do it as an experiment, and I just didn't enjoy it. I made myself do it, like, post once a week for 6 months. And yeah, wasn't a fan, so I just stopped doing it. Yeah. I'll go there if David, like, sends me, like, if he's like, hey, come look at this, you know. But more often I'll just look at it on his phone. But yeah, there are definitely some cool, like, I've gotten some cool color combo ideas off of there, looking at other people's models. Some cool NMM color ideas. But in general, I honestly like it better for looking at sculptor stuff, because you can see what they're working on before they actually release it, and then be conscious of, hey, this is going to release soon, so that you don't miss it. One of the things that David found out from Insta was that one of his favorite miniature sculptors is doing a bronze, like a proper one, like a foot tall, actually cast in a foundry bronze, and we got in on that. So I think it's Patrick Masson who did it. He wanted to do a figure in bronze, and so he managed to do it, and now he's shipping them out. So we should get ours within a few months. Yeah. Yeah, Instagram will show you what you train at you like, just like any social platform. Alright, I feel like these are really nice, and that's okay. This one needs more work. It's like my Facebook being full of puppy pictures. I have trained it to show me puppy pictures. It's got some miniature stuff on there too. I get it, Kuro. I mean, it doesn't matter really with art, like, as long as you share it with people who appreciate it, right? And we definitely appreciate it. So there's no need to do Insta if you don't want to. You're already sharing with other people who value your work. Oh yeah, the ads, yep. Terrible, terrible ads. Hey, we're almost done. I feel like I need to get my energy back before December really sets in, because I've got like 2 sets of relative visits coming up in December. And I already feel like I don't have the energy for them. Ever do that? Ever go like you're headed into December and it's just like crisis sirens are blaring in your head because you're just like, you know you don't have the energy, but you're going to have the energy? Oh, his Santa outfit arrived today, huh? Can't wait to see that. Small Scottish cat Santa. Although I think that it's still like the St. Patrick's Day one was my favorite because green just looks good on SSC. Yeah, Reaper Forum in general, for sure. Alright. It's looking good. I feel like I could do a little bit more up there. Yeah, he really liked the green hat, yeah. I thought it was super cute. He knew it set off his eyes. He's a very fashion conscious kitty. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, social media is just like meh. Meh. That's why I don't bother with the author, oh, you should be doing social media, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, to get your books out there. I'm just like, how about I just run some Amazon ads and write good stories? How about I just do that? I don't believe that social media is the way to go. There, it's better. I know, right? Except that I'm not. Like if I actually came out and made that statement, Grand Oracle, on my self-published Reddit that I follow, I would probably get attacked for that. Because those people, like, there would be some who would agree with me, but in general, all those guys tout is social media because to them they're like, it's free, and I'm like, but it doesn't work. Or it'll take up so much of your time that you won't be writing. But yeah, it's definitely an unpopular attitude to have over there in the self-publishing community, especially the bootstrapping self-publishing community, where people are really, they just don't have a lot of money. They're trying to find the cheapest way to do everything. It's a big difference from my own attitude, which was I'm going to put money aside so that I can spend money on, invest money on making my books good, right? It's just 2 different ways to go about it. And there is no, some people go and do the social media and it works great, but it's just not me. It's advertising. I mean, running ads on social media is helpful sometimes, depending on the platform. If it's free or the product, yeah. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, cost time and energy. Right. And I want to spend my time and energy working on books. And it tends to, the other thing is it's not like one size fits all. Like some genres do much better on like Book Talk, and like romance is amazing on Book Talk. Apparently, if you have good, if you write decently and you're a good book talker and you're a romance writer, that's definitely worth it for you. But a lot of genres, it's not worth it. And doing YA fantasy, that's certainly readable as just regular old fantasy. It just doesn't seem like it's the right fit. Plus, it's just not something I would enjoy. I like doing YouTube videos, but I would not. You have to put out videos so consistently, and short videos aren't my thing. I feel like I can never say enough of what I want to say. Oh, I forgot the front. Oh no, we missed the front. Eek. The way to do Book Talk if you're advertising is to like do things like a short video introducing your main character and the conflict. Agent Marvel. So like, I think it's best if you have multiple books. But like, she was a top executive at a corduroy company until he took her job. Something like that, whatever. So you can do a lot of videos with a lot of just kind of talking about your characters and getting people interested in the characters. Because in a romance, that's what you want, right? You want a character you can either relate to or that you really like the feel of. So if you can present your characters and the conflict to intrigue people in Book Talk with videos, which is actually very easy, but it takes time to do a nice video, like to make it look not like crap, right? You have to kind of figure it out. I'm lining with brown liner. I'm going over an underlying coat of black from my Zenith. I almost never line Dragon Day. I almost never line with black. The only time I use black is if I'm going very comic book, which at this point has been exactly one miniature in my entire life. Yeah. It's not magenta, it is reddish, but it's that's actually like fire red. It's like garnet color actually. It's this color. It's not magenta. Maybe it looks magenta on your monitor, although I have tried really hard at this point to get my monitor to look exactly the way that the miniature looks. So at this point, it's your monitor. Bye, Nara. Oh, time check. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's yes and no, Turgeon. Like, it's totally possible to come to a social media platform and just, like, try it and love it. Maybe it just suits your brain. Like David in Instagram. He didn't try Insta for ages until, he only got really into it in the last year. Mostly because I would post something on there, I think, and he started looking on there and following his favorite artists. But there's just, like, some people's personalities are really drawn to social media, and they're just it's really good for them, right? And for them, that is the right answer. But I see so many people on, like, the self-published Reddit going, I hate social media, right? How can I get my books out there? I hate social media. And then those people are like, well, you've got to do social media. And it's like, no. You don't have to. You have to be willing to do some other stuff. The people who are really kind of, like, screwed are the people who are like, I hate social media, and also I don't have any money for advertising, or I'm scared of advertising, or, you name it. then it's like, well, then all you can do is write books and hope people will find them. And that is a strategy that doesn't work so well in today's market. It can still work if you're really good, if you get a following, if you get lucky. It can work, but it's harder because you're totally dependent on luck at that point. Luck and having a good product that resonates with the market. Oh, sorry. I was lining around those little Band-Aids. Yeah, it's seen as required, right? And the social media platforms love you to believe that. Like, they love you to believe that you need them. Then you'll spend more time on there and produce things for other people to look at, getting other people to spend more time on there. Yeah. I'm glad that my books are doing well without it. I keep thinking about doing Facebook ads, and then I just keep going, I'm doing okay right now. Amazon ads are working decently for me. And I know that platform, and I know the interface, and I can put together an ad very quickly now. So there we go. That tightens up those little red ones. Yeah, and there are people like that. Actually, I know several writers who are essentially got lucky, and their husband actually quit their real job to be their promotion manager. There are a few of those people out there. Yeah. Right. Yeah, if you look up how to promote or advertise. Except that I'm just not doing like a mix of things, right? I've decided to as far as advertising goes. Like, otherwise, I talk about my book to people. Obviously, I talk about it to you guys and online on my own stream. I mentioned it to my patrons, stuff like that. But as far as real advertising to total strangers goes, I only do Amazon. And that's why I think I'm going to stick there. Because I don't really want to spend... Right now, I'm profitable. If I go and start sinking money into Facebook ads, I might not be profitable anymore. Oh, nice. Yeah, nice. Sweet. Yeah, I'm essentially not caring about growing fast. I just want to grow slow, and I'm looking forward. I trust my writing enough to believe that people will love it and people will tell people about it. Like, that's where I'm at. That's where I've been at since I was a kid. Like, I've had faith in my ability to tell a story. And if I enjoy it, then there are other people out there who will enjoy it. So we'll see. So far it's going, for me, for what I've been doing, it's going very well. So more books. Now it's just more books. But yeah, and all of it is leading to word of mouth, right? You do social media not for as an end for itself, but you do social media to try to get word of mouth going, right? So yeah, in the end, word of mouth is the advertising. Yeah, and it gives you time. Honestly, it gives me time to figure stuff out, Slayer. Like, this is a whole second job for me. So it's like all of the different things I had to learn, how to format my books and how to put them up on Amazon and how to do Amazon ads and all of this other crap I've had to learn along the way, like about how to do a decent newsletter and all that. It's all like... if I was in a hurry, like the faster it grows, the more pressure you're under to adapt with it and keep learning. So I kind of like right now where everything is nice and slow and it's still growing, but I have time to explore, like time to figure out, okay, well, how do I put my books up on Kobo, right? Like that kind of thing. Yep. Yeah, but that's the 1 in 10 million people solution, right? That's the problem. That's the problem with that sort of story. Everybody loves that story because they all want it to be them, but it's like the 1 in 10 million. That's what it is. But the thing is that even you could go viral on maybe you sell a bunch of that book, but if your writing isn't there, then you're not going to have repeat customers after that, right? Right, and I mean, if you're consistent and you put up valuable content, Agent Marvel, eventually you'll get an audience, right? It's the people out there that want it to happen now, right? And that's a lot of our culture too. Is you want to have it right now. But it's like me with my YouTube, and my YouTube is the same attitude as that too. And it's like, well, if I put a little extra effort in, I can get there faster. But the minute that starts taking away too much from everything else is the minute I have to back off and just let it grow on its own. So, but yeah, it just takes time. It takes time. But if you put out a product that is quality, that you believe in, and you always try to improve, that's the other thing. Is like, don't just sit there and stagnate, but always keep trying to improve. I think that's where people also don't value the effort of trying to get better at what you do, whether that's learning how to produce a better video or just become a better painter, or learn more like what people are really looking for in a YouTube video in this genre and stuff like that, better editing. Right, exactly. But you know what? That's good for us, Agent Marvel. They quit and we keep going. I mean, that's why there are all those studies, why there are books on grit and perseverance, right? Being the main driver of success. It's not talent. It's, are you going to stick with it in the face of it being slow, right? Or of failing, right? Are you going to come back at it? Are you going to say, no, darn it, I belong here? There you go. Kariniko loves your YouTube videos. Yeah, it's persistence. It's persistence. And if you also have a skill, talent, and luck, then you can become something big, right? Or at least big enough. Like, it's not like you need to be huge to make a decent living at this stuff, depending on how decent your living has to be and how much of a family you have and how much extra money you need to bring in. And even then, Valendar, I find that as someone who is always called talented, what talent is just your early life choices or predispositions that you essentially put time into just because you loved them, and now they are a talent, right? Because of your childhood years you spent doing X, Y, or Z. Like, did I have a talent for writing compared to my fellow high schoolers? Yeah, I did. But that was because I read everything under the sun and had been trying to write a story since I was 7, right? Did I have a talent for miniature painting? Yes, because, again, I spent a ton of time drawing and painting and working with color and understanding that stuff. But that was before I was even, like, in high school. So I just came into it because as a tiny 3-4-year-old child, I liked to draw. Go forward to 10 years old, and that looks like a natural talent for art. It's not. Yeah. Ah. Yeah. He was devoted to it, right? And he enjoyed it, presumably. It's funny, the more I practice, the luckier I get. Yep, it's so true. But you can't guarantee luck. Like, luck is the one thing you can't guarantee. You can't guarantee the viral hit. I can't guarantee that one book talker who could make my career finding my book and posting about it, right? I can't guarantee that. That's just going to happen or it's not going to happen. So you can only concentrate on doing better at the things you can control. So learning more, learning how to be better, how to put out a better product, learning your craft better, learning about products or stuff that could help you, Like me researching this document camera when I was unhappy with doing a webcam, right? So, yeah, all that kind of stuff. It's true, though. It's definitely true. It's funny because I always was called a talented person. I totally do not believe in talent. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. If I hadn't done all that drawing as a kid, I wouldn't have been talented at art when I got to school. But I remember being like 6 years old, like sitting down with a book of horses and trying to understand, like, the stick figure versus the leg that actually looked like a leg at 6, right? That was why when I was in 2nd grade, I could draw tigers that looked like tigers and not stick figures, right? But that was just something that I did as a kid. It was what I really wanted to draw animals. So then it turned into talent, but it was skill anyway. It was just like weird, unformed, undriven skill. Like it's that stuff that roots itself in you early. Anyway, that being the case, it's 20 after, and yeah, right. Outside perspective makes it look like talent, but yeah, Dogfather. But if you had really, really been into art as a little kid, you would have had a little bit of art talent. And sometimes that's whether your parents encourage you. My mom was artsy, and she definitely encouraged me. And she encouraged my brother as well, but his art talent came out in architecture instead of in what I do. So it's still art talent. He can still draw. So yeah, it's interesting. He still has spatial awareness. His color sense, maybe. I don't know. No, his color sense is good, because he just, when he built his own house and did it. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it's the talent is just like, what were you into as a tiny kid? Like, what did you put your time into, right? Yeah, Minecraft. Yeah, these days a lot of kids are talented at video games because that's what they've been doing since they were little, right? All right, the borking is starting again. Kiki has said, hey, it's way past time. Stop talking about cool stuff and get over here and make my treats and take me for a walk. I can hear them grinding on the street over there. It's not going to be a fun walk. Say, hey, grit is important. You've got grit, Kerniko. You of all people, considering what you've gone through since 2020, you have grit. And grit is one of the main definers of success. And Kiki says, grit is me continuing to bark at Mama because she's still talking. All right, guys. Yes. Thank you, everybody. We could talk about this for forever. We'll probably talk about it again. But my doglet is very impatient. And so thank you so much for tuning in. Tomorrow we will work on Illustrally. We're on Illustrally. Oh, the woofing. We'll probably do her hair and whatever else maybe the black. Yeah. So she's getting really close to done. Sweet. All right, everybody, I'll see you. Thank you, Quindy. Kind of gritty, Kerniko. Oh, I think you're rather gritty. In a good way. All right, have a great one, everybody, and I will see you again tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.